Hello everybody, how's it going? This is Taff coming with a Taff's Word, and I wanted to get something out to you guys, obviously before today's game. Recently we've had what I've called a nice change of pace, two cup games, two very winnable games, which we won both of them 2-0. Getting a little bit of confidence to get back into the league, so we can try and get out of this rut. We're in a bit of a rut, we're on a bit of a winless run. It's one of those things that you go through, you tend to have to go through when you're doing well, when you're punching above your weight, you've got to go through these things, you've got to go through bad form, even the best teams go through bad form, so, except maybe Man City at the moment, of course, but we've gone through our bad form, we've had two cup games that we've won, so now my feeling, especially now the strikers, the two lone strikers have scored a couple of goals as well, Jammer and Ammon. So all four goals are scored by our four strikers, who for me were underperforming during this bit of bad spell that we've had. So who do we start with in this game? I mean, we're home to Colchester, who pose an attacking threat. So for me, we've got to go with the five at the back with the two up front rather than the three up front. So we've got to have three centre backs if we've got three centre backs available. Of course, Bennett went off injured. I don't know how long he's going to be out for. Who else have we got to look at? The midfield is looking better now. Obviously, we're getting players coming back from injury, which is great. The attack, like I said, all four strikers scored all four goals since the last result, which was the loss at Carlisle. As I said before, that last minute loss, we kind of had that coming, didn't we, really? Because we've benefited so well recently on the back of winning points in injury time. So for me, it's one of those things I was always going to sort of swing and rain debates. But thankfully now, we're looking like we could be coming out of that rut in the league. Anyway, I'm going to stop badgering on about that. I mean, obviously, we got plenty of good talking points at the moment. The new shuttle bus service that the club are implementing, the signing of Josh Labardi, of course. There's plenty of positives, really, at the moment. The Ivy Bush is thriving. We've got the full licence there. So at the moment, guys, I mean, there's not what I would call an awful lot of real strong talking point, except for the one key thing is the speculation surrounding the manager, Michael Flynn. So it's been put out there that Shrewsbury are interested, although the Argus had an interview with Flinney, who basically said that he's had no contact from them. The actual favourite for the job is the Wrexham manager, which is the other talking point, really, is the cup draw against Wrexham. For those of you who remember the trips to Wrexham, you should be looking forward to this one because it will be a good trip. I mean, as far as looking for a cup run is concerned, it does provide a bit of a stiff obstacle for us to climb to get through to that third round, but nonetheless, it is an obstacle we can overcome. We're more than capable of overcoming it. National League teams are stronger than they used to be, in my eyes. So this isn't going to be a done thing. We ain't going to go and just win the game. We're going to be made to work extremely hard. Their fans and their team are going to be very up for it. Very much out for revenge for beating them in the playoff final. But at the end of the day, I think I mentioned this on the last live that I did. Or did I? No, we only drew them this week, so I haven't done a live. I haven't done a Taff's Word or anything since then. But I have spoken to people. At the end of the day, they would tend to get the upper hand on us more often than we would on them. I mean, I think the only time we've beaten them since we've been in the same division as them, obviously I think we beat them in the final of the FAW Premier Cup in 2008. The only time we've really beaten them is in the playoff final. We've only ever drawn with them at home and lost away. We used to go up there and lose all the time. I think we drew 0-0 once. But, we hadn't beaten them until the playoff final. So technically, we still owe them another one. Although, to be honest with you, I'd take all those draws and losses for beating them in the playoff final, of course. But I still get that feeling that, that we still owe them one. We can't let them get that revenge. Because the chances are they may get promoted. And they got the chance of getting the revenge in the league then, as far as I'm concerned, I mean, we need this cup run. We need the money, big time. We need to be able to keep giving funds to Flynn to keep strengthening the team, basically. We need funds to basically have something spare left over to be able to sign on the players who we need to sign on. And that, for me, has to be a big priority. Now, a lot of people have been talking about the priorities for the priorities for January. Is it to keep the loan players, bring in a centre-back, or get the current stars on a longer-term contract so we don't lose them at the end of the season? For me, we've got to get those players on the contract, because whenever we've allowed players to leave and we've had to replace them, in bulk, that's when it's presented us with challenging times, on the field. Whenever we've kept, a bit of normality, we've grown. We've grown naturally, and it's been great. But the only time we've ever really had, what I would call a bit of an overhaul was in the Justin Edinburgh. But half the players he brought in on a permanent deal had been on loan to us the season before. So we only signed them up on a permanent and brought in a few extra permanent players then. The likes of O'Connor, Flynn, and Tony James came in at the end of the season. So I think for us to progress now, we need to keep the best players like Demetriou, like Butler, like Joe Day, like Dolan, like Amond, of course. So we need to be keeping them players, and then we need to add correctly. There is what you may call a bit of sort of deadwood at the club. Not much, we've cleared that out since Flynn has taken over. He's done a real good clearance job, and he's brought in the right calibre of player. Fair play to him. And obviously with Labardi coming back, think of that as a midfield. Dolan, Labardi and Bakinson. That'll be the best midfield in the league. That's got to be. There is no other midfield better than that in this league. So anyway, guys, look, this isn't going to be a long-winded task word. 7 odd minutes, that's enough. You don't have to put up with me any more than that, really. But I feel like I've skipped over some good talking points here. And again, I'd really like your feedback. I really enjoyed responding to people following the last blog. So if you've got anything to point out to me, something that you feel like I should have been talking about that I may have missed, feel free to drop it in the comments and I'll answer the questions, of course, absolutely. Hope loads of you join us for Taff's Live on Sunday night. There may be, for the duration of I'm a Celebrity, at the end of the day, I have got a fiance who's very patient with me doing my administration work and my content creation commitments for this channel. She's very patient with me. She's very good with what I'm doing. So at the end of the day, whenever I'm a Celeb comes round, she wants her I'm a Celeb on, and obviously there's the shit factor as well, of course. So I've got to give a little back at times. So for the duration of I'm a Celebrity, I'm going to have an earlier Taff's Live time of 7 o'clock. So make sure that if you are a regular tuner in, you get in for 7 o'clock. I will make people aware at some point tomorrow over social media as well that we will be starting early for the next sort of 3 or 4 weeks or whatever, however long the I'm a Celebrity goes on for, of course. So thank you all for watching again. It's always much appreciated. We're getting close to hitting our subscriber target of 2,000. I think we're 45 subscribers away. So I'm sure if every single person who watches this video encourages one person who they know who has a YouTube account to subscribe, we'll hit that target by tomorrow, because tomorrow night we want to do a signed shirt giveaway. We got the signed shirt waiting. We're just waiting to hit that 2,000 mark. So if you guys can help us hit that 2,000 mark, that would be absolutely fantastic, and thank you. Also want to give a mention to our sponsors again, the Scrum Half. I hope that you guys are showing them guys some love. Obviously not telling you to use the Scrum Half instead of the Ivy Bush, of course not. Ivy Bush money goes to the club, but Scrum Half support the club financially as well, and they're all county fans. So as I say, if you're passing through Maindy, or if you find yourself in Maindy at any time, drop in at the pub and meet the guys. They're absolutely great there. So guys, thank you again for watching, and for those of you who have been supporting our sponsors, thank you. Hope more of you will do the same, and obviously make sure you're putting your money into the bush as well, because money to the club, maybe that's what helped raise the funds to get Labardi back. Maybe. What if that can get us another top player next season? Let's get drinking your beers in the bush, people, and of course, we've got to support the people who are supporting the club financially as well. So let's do it. Right then, guys, thank you all again. I know I've said that about 20 times now, so this is the last time, I promise. We'll see you all at the game today. Thank you. I just said it again. Why? Yeah, see you at the game. Cheerio for now, and as always, up the county. Many thanks for watching the latest content on the Amber Army channel. Please make sure you leave us a like. Make sure you subscribe for more content, both for the neutral football fan and also plenty of Newport County. Even more Newport County content can be found on the club's iFollow channel on the link above. It is just £4.49 per month to subscribe to that service. And those of you feeling extra generous can also support us on Patreon on the link at the bottom there. That would be a monthly donation of your choice. Thank you again, make sure you've subscribed, and as always, up the county.